Hello again. Just keep getting these texts while I'm recording, and I've been in contact and having meetings with a woman at my church that the church is blessing her with starting a theater ministry through our church. And it's a nice church. I don't know. You can look it up online. It's highlandschurch.org, or you can go to look up on YouTube Highlands Church Scottsdale. And you can see the weekly sermons are up every week. Some amazing stuff, as always, every single one of them. So we have many different ministries. It's awesome, and like every single pastor, every minister, everybody in that office, it's absolutely spectacular. What a team it is. People from all different backgrounds. My personal mentor, Pastor Joe, amazing man. After 40 some odd years in ooh, look at this lizard. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Little flat guy. Pretty cool. I normally see like geckos. That's not what that was. It's pretty cool. So yeah, Pastor Joe, he was a very successful attorney. Worked with people and entities for good things, for beautiful things, not for greed at all. That's not the man that Joe is. He's got an amazing heart, and I wish we could all project our thoughts and feelings at the same time. It's purely telepathic, because we would be able to say something to somebody that would take weeks to explain, and you can, because of all the details and the nuances of, if you could do what I just explained, there would never be any misunderstandings at all. Everybody would completely, 100% understand one another. But I digress. So Laura, the woman that's doing the theater company, she approached me, asked me if I would be able to help out with doing set design. With set fabrication for the play. They're doing The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which, for those of you that may not know, C.S. Lewis, the author of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Chronicles of Narnia series, was a devout Christian. Amazing writer. So The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and all the Narnia series is all about Jesus, in case you didn't know that. And when you see that from that perspective, and just the symbology behind all of it, Aslan basically being Jesus, all powerful, comes back from the dead when he was murdered by the witch on the altar. So how that came about with this play, the day before that I was in a meeting with a couple of people from the church, Tyler McGrath and George Mahoney. Tyler being all things financial and all that stuff for the church, and like the books and all that kind of stuff, and budgeting, whatever, or something. Yeah. Anyway, so George deals with outreach ministries and all that stuff, and George is also in the band for the worship team, guitarist. Him and his wife both play. The wife usually plays bass, and turns out George, I get to know so many amazing people and their backgrounds, especially through the church. Some amazing stories. That's what inspires me to want to know more about other people. So George and his wife used to own a couple of music stores, like instruments and stuff, in Scottsdale. So yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Now he works full-time at the church helping people. He helps people, homeless people, to help them find new homes, people coming out of different rehab programs, all that kind of stuff. Like really awesome stuff. So I was having a meeting with them about the idea that I had been talking to them and other people in the church about, that everybody's just so excited about. And God put this in my heart, and it's so beautiful and amazing. It's a lot of work. It's going to be even more. But God put this on me for a reason, and I'm going to accept the responsibility. And I'm going to take this 911 Easy and Say challenge, because I know God's not going to put anything in front of me that I can't do. So it's outside my wheelhouse, but that's why we have all these amazing people to help, right? When our hearts are in it and God is in it, you can't lose. So I was talking to them after a number of meetings already, going over, okay, how are we going to do this Christian Creative Community Center, as I call it? It's where people can learn new things, like starting off, like say, through the church, through the youth ministry, teaching homeschool kids, because there are a lot of people in our church are homeschooling now. They pull them out of the public schools because of the obvious agendas that are at play, and we don't want our kids around all that. So teaching them about real life and where everything actually came from as well, because the devil made us lie. His biggest perpetrated lie that he got away with is to say that he didn't exist. It never did. He still does, believe me. If you look around you and with that in mind, you'll see. You can't deny it. It's everywhere. So anyway, it'll be for teaching homeschool kids, like shop classes. Even public schools, they don't really have any shop classes anymore. Nothing. I started shop classes when I was in, I think, 6th grade, I believe. I think I made a wall sconce for my parents out of wood. It was pretty cool. I remember the candle. No, I gave it to my grandmother. And I remember she always had it on her wall till the last time I saw her. She loved it. She loved us. I never realized that. Like how deep that is. Like how deep that feels until now. And she's been gone like many, many years now. But I didn't see her way before she even died. Lots of weird family stuff. I'm not going to get into that. Good morning. So I made wall sconce, and I remember to this day it was like a dark walnut stain on it, and she put this really pretty candle. It was like clear, but it had flakes of copper in it. It was really cool. So I could tell like she really loved that thing. Thank you for loving me, Grandma. So these kids can come learn like wood shop stuff, metalworking. I owned a high-end custom metal fabrication business for 13 years, doing custom furniture pieces and sculpture and all that stuff for designers and architects. I just got really burned out handling all the different hats in the business. It became labor, not labor of love. And it burned me out. I wasn't able to be as creative all the time as I wanted to be. And the whole stress of money and blah, blah, blah. So, which is funny because I still work for myself. I just don't do that right now. Changing into this, what I'm talking about. So it'll teach that, metalworking, even how-to classes like 1 or 2 week summer school classes for them, where they can learn different tools and how to use them, and maybe even dabbling into learning how to, do simple home repairs, like changing out a garbage disposal or patching a hole in a wall and all that kind of stuff. Kids need to learn all that stuff. But then, like when it grows, obviously not at the same time as the kids, but different classes we can offer for people coming off the streets, coming out of rehab centers, to learn new skills and trades, find things that they love, because eventually I want it to have like photography classes. I want to have podcasting spaces for people to do things like this. Like maybe like 2 rooms that are set up just for that. People can sign up to use them. You know, have classes on how to do it and all that stuff, and how to edit and whatnot. Like all sorts of stuff that's going to help so many people. It's insane. Like it makes my heart explode just talking about it, because it's so amazing how much it's going to help so many people. And that gets me fired up, because God chose me to do this, and that shows some love and confidence, I'll tell you. And I don't want to stop at one. I want this to be a thing, spread throughout the world, starting off in my own community and spread across the valley, a couple of different, maybe like one or two other locations in the valley, and then spread out a couple over the state in needed areas, and then other states and beyond. It can really happen. It's just a matter of God, which I know He'll do, pulling all the right people in to do it and making it happen. It inspired me one day. I mean, I've got these different investments, and I invest in different things and that are about to pay off. Yeah, I won't even get into any of that. But it's not I'm not gonna give it all away. I have to take care of myself, and darn it, after struggling my entire life, I deserve to be a little comfortable too. And there's nothing wrong with that. But a very significant part of that is going towards all of these things. And I'll be able to take my son out and show him the world. Teach him through actually doing things in the world. Seeing new places, new cultures, helping with this project. Introduce him to new aspects of it. He can learn new skills and trades if he wants to as well. I'm not going to force him to, but he does want to learn woodworking, because he wants to make a sword. A wooden sword. I love that little boy so much. That's another gigantic blessing I've gotten is him. I love you, Ewan. I love you more than I could ever say. And thank you for being patient with me at times. And you see how different I am. Not that I was horrible before, not by any means. I was still loving, but not as open as I am now. I mean, I was still open, but not where I'm at now. And I see him completely differently now too. And he's the major reason why I did it, why I'm where I'm at now. Not that I think that I owe him anything, because I know he doesn't think that. But I'm going to try to repay that, and I can never repay what he's done for me. He is an amazing little soul, and God gave me the privilege of helping to raise him. So going back to my original story about all this stuff, like I've been now, so she heard about, that I know how to build stuff and make stuff, and my past in working for a parade company in Detroit and building floats and welding the chassis and all that kind of stuff, and helping to build sets and helping to build awesome things for Los Angeles and New York Comic-Cons through some awesome friends that I know that own a company called Spectacle, and they do stuff for all sorts of major events. They work with Waste Management for the golf thing that's going on here in Scottsdale, and also for the Super Bowl for Tostitos. And I helped them make all these different buildings and all this, like, just super creative, awesome, fun stuff. So I learned all this stuff, so I'm passing knowledge on to people, because I know there'll be people that'll enjoy doing that kind of stuff too, and it'll be there for them to learn if that's what they want. So yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. So she found out about Laura, the theater person. She found out about all the stuff that I do and learned, and a basic synopsis, I'm sure. But so when she reached out, it's like, how could I say no? And it's also taking a life of its own. And I'm learning like new design techniques and stuff like that, making snowy trees and all sorts of stuff, because this isn't going to be like a 5th grade play kind of stuff. Like, these sets are going to be like professional grade. So yeah, and it's awesome because it's not going to cost them. It's all volunteer. So it's only cost of materials. Isn't that pretty awesome? To be able, for her to be able to have this dream of teaching theater, but have it come across as spectacular because of all the people God put in front of her, like me and the ministers and the elders at our church that said, this is a great idea for you to start this theater company. So congratulations, Laura, on getting to pass on what you love. So yeah, I do a lot of things. I volunteer through my church. I do Bible study, or chronological Bible study, which is amazing. So I call it story time because it's beautiful. Like it paints such a picture and gives me such deeper understandings. Tomorrow night we're starting in the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel. Just finished the book of Judges. Wow, that's some crazy stuff. So Samson and all that. Like Samson and Delilah. However that goes, sorry. Usually I know I can sing a little better than that, but my throat's a little dry. I should probably be drinking water instead of talking so much. So yeah, I'm doing all these things with the church because God has put it in my heart, and I couldn't be happier. And I want to help other people get here. So yeah, have a good one. Love you.